So the PlayStation 2 is literally my favorite console of all time. I have so many fond childhood memories playing the PlayStation 2. And believe it or not, I didn't actually get my PS2 at launch. I got it about a year after it was released. So in about 2001. And there were so many amazing games on the PlayStation 2 where like some of the biggest franchises in the history of gaming started on that console. And the library itself here in North America alone is over 1,800 games. I would know because I'm an idiot and I'm going for the full North American PlayStation 2 set for my collection. Again, I'm an idiot. But there are so many games that either started on the PlayStation 2 or had games on the PlayStation 2 that are no longer around in modern gaming. The franchises have died, not necessarily died on the PlayStation 2. Maybe they had another installment on the PS3 or Xbox 360, during the seventh generation. But at this current day and age, the franchises I wanted to share with you, the games I wanted to share with you today are games that are no longer around that I personally wish still were around. And, whether it's a remake or remaster or a sequel, I would love to see these games make a comeback. Whether it's the PS5 or on PC, the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox One or Series X, I would just love to see these games come back because it's been a long time since we've seen some of these franchises. And today, it's just a talking head video, guys, nothing too long or crazy. I'm going to go through this stack of games for the PlayStation 2 that I have here. And you guys, please let me know down in the comments. Give me your own personal list. It doesn't have to be for the PlayStation. It could be for any console. Give me some games or franchises that are no longer around that you wish would get some type of revival, a comeback. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many, and I'm going to start it off right now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Dark Cloud 1 and 2. These games are absolutely fantastic. And I still remember playing Dark Cloud 1 at my friend's house. I had never heard of this game before. And I remember his cousin was in town visiting and he actually brought Dark Cloud with him. And we all sat, the three of us sat in my buddy's room and just took turns playing, watched his cousin play it. But I just loved I don't know, man. It just kind of gave me like Zelda vibes a little bit, back then. And I loved the action combat. I'm not a big turn-based guy or a tactical RPG guy, but the RPG elements in this were great. I loved the dungeon exploration. I loved the town building. And again, the action combat was a lot of fun. So yeah, I really wish that this franchise would make a comeback or get a full remake. That's wishful thinking. You'll notice a lot of these games here are wishful thinking. But I would just love to see Dark Cloud get a revival in some form, whether it's a remake, remaster, or a Dark Cloud 3. That would be absolutely amazing. What did you guys think of Dark Cloud? It's just a really great, I don't know if you would call this a hidden gem RPG on the console, but in my personal opinion, I actually like Dark Cloud 2 more than the first one, but they're both fantastic games and they're both relatively affordable as well if you wanted them for your own personal collection. But yeah, that's kind of how this video is going to go, guys. I'm just going to rattle off these games and take a stroll down memory lane for the PlayStation 2. I know the Nintendo Switch is approaching becoming the best-selling console of all time, and it may very well do that. But the PlayStation 2 has sold over 155 million units. I know Sony all of a sudden is claiming it's 160 million units. I don't know. As much as I love the PS2, it feels like Sony's kind of moving the goalposts there. But you know what? Nonetheless, it's still, as of right now, the best-selling console of all time from the sixth generation, which in my opinion is the best generation of gaming. You had the Sega Dreamcast, the Nintendo GameCube, the original Xbox, and the PlayStation 2. And you know what's kind of crazy? Fun fact, the PlayStation 2 sold more consoles than all three of its competitors combined. I want to say the Dreamcast sold around 9 million units, the GameCube sold around 21 to 23 million units, and the original Xbox was, I want to say, around 30 million units. But even combined, they didn't even come close to the PS2, which is saying a lot. And yes, we can make the argument, well, it had a built-in DVD player and it was cheap. You're right. The launch titles weren't great. And, it took a little while for the PlayStation to, find its feet. But nonetheless, let's move on with the list. Next up, we are going to talk about Tenchu as a franchise. This game or I'm sorry, this franchise is absolutely amazing. If you like playing as like a samurai, you can play as either the male or female character in this. It originated on the PlayStation 1. Now, the PlayStation 2 versions are fun, and there is a version on the Xbox, the original Xbox. And the last Tenchu, to my knowledge, that we got was Tenchu Z on the Xbox 360, and then the franchise just kind of died out. But me personally, Tenchu 1 and Tenchu 2 for the PlayStation 1 are my personal favorites. But overall, this franchise is a lot of fun. It's you can kind of play it however you really want to play it, whether you want to go full stealth like ninja jumping from rooftop to rooftop, or if you just want to go balls to the wall, just like samurai style and just slice down everybody in your path. You can kind of do that in these games, which is a lot of fun. But man, these were pretty bloody and gory for the time. And I really love Tenchu. I really wish this franchise would get a revival. Like I said, Tenchu Z was the last one we got on the Xbox 360, which is a real shame because it's a solid franchise. Definitely. Let me know what you guys think of Tenchu down in the comments. Next up, without wasting any time, we're going to jump into a very beautiful shell-shaded RPG that, you know, you can actually play it on the PlayStation Plus subscription, but it's not like remastered or remade or anything like that. But that game is Rogue Galaxy. Now, Rogue Galaxy, you basically play as a bunch of space pirates, but this game is so freaking good, dude. Like, it's so much fun. Admittedly, I haven't beaten it yet, but I will tell you that the graphics, man, especially for the PlayStation 2 era, are gorgeous. And if you don't have access to the PlayStation 2 version, like I said, if you have PlayStation Plus, you can actually play this. It's one of the retro titles they have available on there. But man, this game is awesome. One of the big things I love about certain RPGs is the action combat. And the action combat in this feels really, really good, more so than Dark Cloud 2, in my opinion. But man, Rogue Galaxy is a solid action RPG. It's just a lot of fun. And like I said, the thing that stands out most to me about this game is the visuals. It's absolutely stunning. Very, very beautiful game. I really wish that this would get a remaster or even a remake. I think it would look phenomenal on a PlayStation 5 or on a PC with modern graphics and modern technology for sure. Next, we are going to talk about the Champions franchise, Champions of Norath and Champions Return to Arms. If you're a fan of like Diablo games or dungeon crawler games, these games are right up your alley. They are freaking so much fun. And I do apologize about the glare, you guys. I got my lights on so you can see me a little bit better. But yeah, the Champions games are a lot of fun. You create your own character and you're in this open world, well, kind of open world dungeon crawler style fantasy world where, you know, you can create different classes and you go through and you level up and you get new items and stuff like that. Very similar, I guess you could probably say, to like a Gauntlet or a Diablo or a Path of Exile. So if you like those kinds of games and you like creating your own character and you want to play with up to 4 of your friends, because has 4-player co-op, this franchise is really amazing. The last one in the franchise was this one, Return to Arms, which is a real shame. I always love playing a good dungeon crawler, so really, really good, solid franchise. If you have a chance to pick these up, these are really cool games for sure. I love the Champions games. They're a lot of fun to play with your friends. Next up, I think a lot of you are going to agree with me. It's a real shame that this franchise doesn't exist, but these 2 games in particular, because these are the 2 that, in my opinion, are the best in the franchise, hands down. There's no questions asked, and that is going to be the Burnout franchise, Burnout 3 Takedown and Burnout Revenge. These games are so much freaking fun, and anybody who remembers these or remembers playing these knows exactly what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, Burnout hasn't been around for a while, but my favorite mode was sitting around with my friends and playing the crash mode where, you know, maybe that's what it's called. I don't necessarily remember. I'm getting old, guys. But the crash mode where you basically like drive into oncoming traffic and whoever can create the biggest crash and earn the most points wins. Really, that was my favorite part of playing these games with my friends. And I absolutely loved the Burnout games. These were solid racing games. I think the PlayStation 2 honestly had some of the best racing games ever. I mean, come on, you had the Burnout 3 and Burnout Revenge games, and then you had like Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec and Gran Turismo 4. You had games like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. You had Midnight Club 1, 2, and 3 Dub Edition. Like, dude, like that's so amazing. And there's one more racing there's one more set of racing games for the PlayStation 2 that I know you guys are pulling your hair out because I didn't mention it, but it's actually on this list today. So you know, just hold your horses. We'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, Burnout definitely needs a comeback. We need more Crash Mode, man. I loved that shit. It was so much fun growing up. Next up, all right, guys, we've got a game that's, in my opinion, pretty similar to Devil May Cry. So if you like those hack and slash games like Devil May Cry, and it is a Capcom game, I'm going to recommend that Chaos Legion gets a remaster. That would be amazing. Or even a sequel. That would be really cool. This is made by Capcom. And you know what's funny is that it says right here on the back, if you loved Devil May Cry, you'll love Chaos Legion. And they're not lying. Is it as good as Devil May Cry? Absolutely not. Like, the original Devil May Cry was amazing. Devil May Cry 2 sucked. We all know that. Devil May Cry 3 is good. And Devil May Cry 4 is good. And man, I haven't played Devil May Cry games since then. Huh. Well, there's a lot of new ones out now, like DMC or Devil May Cry 5 that I need to jump into, but I really liked 4. Anyway, if you liked the Devil May Cry franchise, you will definitely like Chaos Legion. It is a lot of fun. I think it's like a $20 game. If you have a PS2 or access to one that you wanted to pick this up, really, really fun. I actually, in the back there, it's hard to see. You can't tell from here, but I do have like a really big cardboard standee of this game that used to be in a GameStop in the early 2000s. But yeah, again, Devil May Cry clone. Really good game. It's made by Capcom, just like Devil May Cry, so you can't really go wrong with it. But yeah, highly recommend that Chaos Legion gets like a remaster or remake, or a sequel. Why not? I mean, any of the three. Just a revival of this game would be really cool, just because I think it's a hidden gem. I think it definitely got overshadowed by Devil May Cry for sure. And next up, I know this is a franchise that you guys would agree with me because I see it all the time on people's lists of games that they would love to get a remaster, remake, or a sequel to. It's a franchise that we feel like it's been long forgotten, but it was one of the greatest 3D platforming franchises ever made. And it's really surprising that Naughty Dog just kind of left this one behind. And I would love to see the Jak and Daxter games get a comeback for sure. I know we got the Jak and Daxter like HD collection on the PlayStation 3, but that's the PlayStation 3, and that's still, I mean, coming up on 20 years old, right? So I mean, I would love to see Jak get another installment, kind of like Ratchet and Clank, man. Ratchet and Clank still gets all kinds of love on the PS5. I really think Naughty Dog needs to revisit this instead of remastering The Last of Us for the 50th time. Not knocking the game at all, but it's like, man, they have other franchises that are amazing other than The Last of Us. And it's a shame that Jak has been, long forgotten. We could definitely use more 3D platformers on the PlayStation consoles because, yeah, we have Astrobot now, which is absolutely fantastic. And we have the Ratchet and Clank games. But, it wouldn't hurt to have Jak make a comeback because I think these games are absolutely fantastic. They're a lot of fun. I know my wife absolutely loves these games. So, yeah, I miss Jak and Daxter, man. These were great games, a lot of fun. And it's a shame that they're not around anymore. They definitely deserve a remake, remaster, or a sequel for sure. Let's add another Jak game to the franchise altogether. That'd be really cool. So I actually do have some sports games on here, which is surprising. So hear me out. It's not a Madden. It's not a 2K. I really love arcadey style sports games, like, NBA Jam and NFL Blitz and things like that. So for me personally on the PlayStation 2, and for some reason I couldn't find the second game. I know I have it, but I have a lot of games on the shelf for PS2, man. And it was just, I didn't feel like finding it right now. I'm going to go with the NBA Street franchise or the NFL Street franchise, which I also have those games. I didn't feel like digging too hard, guys. You know what I mean? So EA big. I don't even know if that division of EA is even around anymore. Probably not. But dude, NBA Street Volume 2 is actually my favorite one, which it sucks that, I couldn't even show you the cover here because I couldn't find it. But NBA Street and NFL Street, man, were a lot of freaking fun, dude. Like the music, the soundtrack, the NFL Street, the extra violence or brutality in that game, man, like playing an NFL Blitz game. But these NBA Street games were so much fun, dude. Like I really loved in the first one, like you made your own character and you started at the bottom of the rankings and you worked your way up. And then after you beat so many like NBA teams, you could like, as you're beating the NBA teams, you could pick a player to steal from their roster to put on your team as you progress. So I would always pick my favorites from the time period, right? Like Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Shaquille O'Neal, players like that. And then after you beat so many NBA teams, then you would play like a made up like street legend character. And if you beat that legend in a game against their team, you got that legend on your team. It was just really cool. Fun fact, if you get the Nintendo GameCube version of NBA Street Volume 3, it actually has Mario characters that you can play as, which is pretty neat. But yeah, dude, NBA Street needs to make a comeback. I need more arcadey sports games. Don't get me wrong, like 2K and Madden is, well, Madden fucking sucks. I'm sorry. Madden is dog shit trash and it hasn't been good in years. In my opinion, Madden hasn't been good since they invented the hit stick, whatever year that was, like mid 2000s. But yeah, 2K is fine. NBA Live used to be my favorite basketball franchise before that took a shit and NBA 2K kind of took over. But as far as like games that are just mindless, you pick up and have fun with your friends, the street games are amazing. Definitely wish those would make a comeback. Next up on the list, we have the Def Jam franchise. And I know that I believe Def Jam Icon for the 360 was the last one and it was dog shit. But Def Jam Vendetta and Def Jam Fight for New York are absolutely fantastic. They're basically like brawler, like fighting games, where you fight against rappers in the industry, right? And it's got people like, it says DMX, Ludacris, Method Man, Redman, Scarface. I know in Fight for New York, Snoop Dogg is the main villain, and you basically go through and it's a fighting game where you fight against hip hop stars. It's dude, I don't know why they couldn't make something like this today, but that would be freaking dope. I know Fat Joe is in one of them. I know that like Busta Rhymes is in one of them. I believe that's Fight for New York. But dude, these games were a lot of fun. Great fighting games. They're both really good. The third one, Icon, again, dog shit. So I kind of understand why it died, right? It's usually it takes one bad game for them to just be like, washing our hands of it. Fuck it. We're moving on to the next thing. But man, it would be really cool to get like a remaster or remake of this. Good luck with the licensing, and it's wishful thinking. That'll never happen because of all of the music that is in this and the likeness of the rappers that are in this. So yeah, the licensing would be too much of a pain in the ass. But this is also made by EA Big, the same people who made the NBA and NFL Street and FIFA Street games that we were just talking about. But yeah, would love to see this. What did you guys think of the Def Jam games? I thought they were solid fighting games, man. They're a lot of fun. Next franchise we're going to talk about really quickly is the Legacy of Kain franchise. Now, I know Soul Reaver 1 and 2 just got like a remaster, right? But just Legacy of Kain in general, Blood Omen 2, Legacy of Kain Defiance. You had the Legacy of Kain game, I remember on the PlayStation 1. I don't remember how many were actually on the PlayStation 1, man. Sorry, I can't remember like every game that's ever came out off the top of my head. But then you had like the Blood Rain games. And I just wish as a whole, like these franchises would get just like a whole new game, like where it included like Blood Rain and Kain and, the Soul Reaver and everything. Like just all three of those like games or franchises like meshed into one would be really cool. But yeah, it even says here on the box on Soul Reaver 2 that it includes a preview of Blood Omen 2. Blood Omen 2 is my personal favorite out of the Legacy of Kain franchise. I absolutely loved it. And that is also on the PlayStation 2. Really, really good game. And so is Legacy of Kain Defiance. Also a fun game. But yeah, I know that, like I said, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 just got a remaster and it's on the PlayStation 5. But I would love to see the other games in the Legacy of Kain franchise make a comeback for sure, especially Blood Omen 2. That game is solid, dude. I loved that when I was a kid. But yeah, these games are a lot of fun. I have Blood Omen and I have all those over on the shelves, but I figured I didn't need to bring them and trek them all over here and make the stack even bigger. Now, next up is that racing game or games that I was talking about earlier. In my opinion, they are some of the most iconic racing games of all time. And just the soundtrack, the vehicle customization, the shit that you could do in this game was just freaking awesome. It was at a time when like Fast and Furious was just coming out and everybody wanted to be a street car racer. I think you guys already know what I'm going to say. But yeah, I got to give it up to the Need for Speed Underground games, dude. The soundtracks were so freaking good in these, dude. Like, I just remember one of the songs in the menu was 24s by T.I., and I absolutely loved it. Getting to like, you could put like spinners or you could put like crazy shit on your car. You can like trick them out and make them look like Fast and the Furious cars. And I absolutely loved like the story mode. These games were a lot of fun, dude. This and like Midnight Club. Midnight Club was solid too, man. Midnight Club, Need for Speed Underground, and Burnout. Like those three right there, just to me, make the PlayStation 2 one of the best consoles for racing games, like hands down. And if you like more racing sim stuff, you're gonna want to play like Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec and Gran Turismo 4. Gran Turismo 4 looks phenomenal. I'm just not too crazy about like realistic racing sim games. I like the street racing, arcadey style games. Because they're just dumb fun, man. And I loved customizing my cars and making them look as gaudy and awful as possible. Like, it was just so much fun, dude. Putting decals all over them and big spoilers and crazy rims, dude. And like putting NOS in them. And dude, these were wild, man. But man, these were so much fun. I know Need for Speed as a whole still exists, but these two games in particular, I would love like a remaster or a Need for Speed Underground 3. Like, I really hope you're listening, EA. Give us a Need for Speed Underground 3. All right, guys. So the next one, if you like Grand Theft Auto, if you like Saints Row, I definitely think that you would like these if you haven't played them. The True Crimes games, True Crime Streets of LA and True Crime Streets of New York. These games are a lot of fun. Like I said, there's not much to say about these other than the fact that like it's like an open city. If you like GTA or Saints Row, you're gonna like these games. They're a lot of fun. It's definitely one of those things where like if you've played all the GTAs and you've played all of the Saints Row games and you're looking for something else to kind of like fill this, kind of like Dead to Rights also, I would put that in this kind of category as well. But yeah, dude, this game died a long time ago. True Crime New York City is the last one, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's a shame that this franchise like lived and died on the PlayStation 2 because I thought it was a lot of fun, especially the first time I ever played True Crime Streets of LA. But if you have a PS2, definitely pick these up. They're really, really good. Like this game is dirt cheap. Like they're both dirt cheap. But like True Crime Streets of LA, dude, you can get for under $10. Like I bought this at GameStop recently since they started doing retro, and I paid $8 for it. So definitely worth picking up again if you're a GTA or Saints Row fan. It's just another title to kind of scratch that itch. You know what I mean? But I would love to see like a third installment or even like a remaster of this game because you know I love GTA style games, so I can never get enough of them. Like Saints Row was freaking awesome. Next up, we have a Squaresoft game, and it is not an RPG. So this next game is a total hidden gem. It's fantastic. I remember playing this at my aunt's house growing up. Why my aunt and uncle had this at their house, couldn't tell you, but I have beaten this game numerous times, and it is actually a beat 'em up that was made by Squaresoft that eventually turned into Square Enix, you know, the people who make Final Fantasy. And that is The Bouncer. The Bouncer is absolutely fantastic. You can play as 3 different playable characters where basically you'd get like a really like awesome looking cutscene, and then you'd go into like the battle mode or fight, you know, the beat 'em up, part where you basically would just, it's a 3D beat 'em up. If you like beat 'em ups, if you liked games like Fighting Force, but this game looks a lot better than Fighting Force. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And if you look at the character on the cover, his name is Sion. You can definitely tell where they got Sora's inspiration from for Kingdom Hearts, obviously made by the same company. But yeah, dude, like this guy literally looks like Sora's like older brother from Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, it's just a beat 'em up. It's a lot of fun. The cutscenes are beautiful. The story is kind of generic. You know, you're saving your girlfriend or whatever. It's, you know, if I'm remembering correctly, guys, it's been some years. But The Bouncer is definitely a hidden gem and a forgotten game from Squaresoft that not a lot of people talk about, but it's definitely worth picking up. I would love to see this game get a remaster. I would love Square Enix to just surprise all of us and like show this game some love because like nobody ever talks about it, man. It's very rare that anybody ever brings up the bouncer when you're talking about like Squaresoft or Square Enix. But yeah, really solid game, really awesome beat 'em up. If you like beat 'em ups, you'll probably really like this game. It's a lot of fun and it's not that expensive. Next up, we're almost done, guys. I know this is long-winded, but I really like top 10 lists or tier lists or ranking lists. It's just kind of my jam. I love to like give my personal opinions to you guys on these things, and I love to get the feedback. So next up, we have an fun fact about the game I'm about to show you. This is literally the very first PlayStation 2 game I ever played. Like I told you, I got my PlayStation 2 a year after it launched, and I got it for Christmas from my dad and my grandparents. And so this game, you know, I got my PS2 with no games, and my dad took me to Blockbuster, and he let me, you know, he was like, well, try out some games, you know, and see which ones you like, and I'll buy them for you if you like them. And I picked this game, and I picked GTA 3. But this was literally the first PS2 game I ever played, and that game is Max Payne. This game is so freaking good, dude. You play as a cop whose family is murdered, and you are on a rampage to basically get back, you know, the people that killed your family. But yeah, dude, like it had some Matrix slow motion mechanics where you could like jump in slow motion, like shoot your gun at, you know, bad guys and stuff. And dude, this game was really off the wall. I remember when I rented it and brought it home and I popped it in and my dad watched me play it. He was like, "Oh shit, dude, like don't show your grandparents what I rented you." Cause this was definitely, dude, in 2001, I was like 10. Yeah, I was like 10 years old. So like he, you know, he was like, "Oh, I don't think this is very appropriate." But dude, he loved it. He thought it was cool as hell. So yeah, dude, Max Payne is solid. The last one we got was Max Payne 3 back in like 2012. It's a shame that the franchise died because I think that the games were awesome. They were a lot of fun. So yeah, it's a forgotten Rockstar game at this point, man. It's been well over a decade since we've seen Max Payne, and I would just love to see. Actually, I would really just love to see a remake or remaster of the original because that was my favorite in the entire franchise. Let me know which one you like the most. But guys, we've made it. The last franchise we're going to talk about in this video. I know it's been kind of like long-winded here, but these are just some of the games I just picked off the shelf like at random that I thought like I would be really cool to see make a comeback. And lastly, but surely not least, we have a franchise that is a beloved 3D platformer. We haven't seen a game, if I'm remembering correctly, since the PlayStation 3. And I believe that's the fourth installment. We also, I believe, got an HD collection. Yeah, we did get an HD collection on the PlayStation 3. But another beloved 3D platformer that seems to be forgotten by Sony, and that is Sly Cooper. You probably, by the description of this, you probably already knew what I was going to be talking about. Sly Cooper 1, Sly Cooper 2, and Sly Cooper 3 right here. Like I said, they put all three of these on an HD collection, kind of like Jack and Daxter over on the PlayStation 3. The PS3 had a lot of really good HD collections, like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus was also on there, but a lot of really good HD ports or remasters or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, dude, definitely think that Sly Cooper needs some love. It's been some years. Like I said, Sly Cooper 4 was the last one. Thieves in Time, I think is what it was called. And yeah, dude, that was a long ass time ago. And everybody loves Sly Cooper, man. Like I was saying earlier, people are like, where is Jack and where is Sly? It would be really nice to see those 3D platformers make a comeback because, you know, with Nintendo kind of dominating that genre, until Astrobot came along, dude. Astrobot is phenomenal. That was my game of the year, and it won game of the year, and I was happy about that. But yeah, I would love to see more 3D platformers come to the PlayStation to kind of fill that genre out for that console. But yeah, guys, those are the games that I think need a remaster, remake, or a sequel that are no longer around in modern gaming. I want you guys to let me know down in the comments. Give me your own personal list. Throw some games or franchises out there that you would love to see a comeback from. And guys, it doesn't have to be PlayStation. If there's a Nintendo game or franchise or Xbox or PC, any games, the Atari, like it doesn't matter. Let me know like a franchise you're like, man, I really missed that fucking franchise. Where the hell did it go? Like a lot of people would say Star Fox from Nintendo because the Wii U Star Fox game was dog shit. The controls made it almost unplayable. So yeah, there's a lot of games out there that I think need a comeback. And we're in a day and age of remasters and remakes, and a lot of them have been fantastic, like the Silent Hill 2 remake that just came out last year, or you have Resident Evil 2 and 4, which were fantastic. The remaster of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, or Donkey Kong Country Returns that was on the Wii and now is on the Switch in HD. So we're living in an era of a lot of remakes and remasters, and hell, I would even like to see a brand new installment for a lot of these games. But yeah, again, let me know down in the comments your list. If you guys like this type of content and you want to see more lists, just let me know. This is just a talking head video, guys. Like, there's nothing fancy here. I just wanted to share these games with you and just have a conversation, and I would love to read and reply to all of your comments and your thoughts down below. But yeah, if you like retro or modern gaming content, talking head videos, or if you like live streams or short form content, I do it all here on the channel, and I appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button if you want to. No pressure at all. I'm just happy you're watching the video. Or you can hit the like button, notification bell, or leave a comment. But guys, I know this was, again, long-winded, but the PS2 is my favorite console of all time, and I could make tons of these videos, man. I have a lot of PS2 games. I think I have like 774 is actually what my app on my phone says, so that I can keep track. Because, again, I'm getting old. I can't really remember everything too well. So, yeah, guys, until next time, we will talk very soon, and happy hunting.